Okay, so it is that most magical time of the year. My favorite religious holiday, or what I keep telling my bosses is a religious holiday so I can have off during this time frame. It is E3 time, and yesterday was the Microsoft conference, and it was it was fine. Just okay. Definitely not cringe-inducingly bad, unfortunately, because one of the things I always kind of love about Microsoft is that they try so hard to be cool and, like, so, like, dude bro oriented that they end up putting on some of the cringiest shows. Either if it isn't like Cirque du Soleil, or like a bunch of kids like playing the Kinect, and I'm really trying to push the Kinect until they realize, oh man, the Kinect's garbage, just get rid of that shit. Or like them having like, terrible actors, like, like sweet girl gamers talking about their awesome gamer score, man. Like their E3 shows are usually some of the cringiest bullshit, and this year they didn't really do like a really cringy show. Like they've actually kind of started learning how to do these conferences and not make it seem just so cringe-inducingly fucking retarded. So that's good. That is good. I mean, it doesn't make it as laughable, and it doesn't give me as many things to meme about or reference, but it's definitely probably like as far as like a presentation of what they have to show is it's definitely a bit better. They start off technically on a strong foot by showing off their new console, and this is Project Scorpio, and what was Project Scorpio gonna look like, and what's and they show it off, and it has like all the sweet specs that we had been told about, and we get to see it, and it is tiny. Like I will say, like that's like the big thing I took away from it. Like, man, that's so compact, so nice. Like because like the fucking PS3 and the Xbox 360, and even like the fucking like PS4 Pro, like these are big fucking consoles. Like these things are goddamn monsters, and here you have this little thing that's like, you know, like it barely looks bigger than the controller itself. And it's not like like Microsoft went back to like the Duke, even though they're apparently going back to the Duke. So yeah, it's definitely like I really thought that was really cool. They were able to get this like badass high performance console out in this like like this day and age with like these kind of specs and have it be so compact when last year Sony put out the Pro and it's still a big fucking thing. So yeah, that I thought was really cool. What else about it? Oh right, so the one thing though that I think was really stupid about goddamn Project Scorpio being announced was its name, where it's the Xbox One X. Xbox One X. Not to be confused with the Xbox One S, which was the slimmer model that had like slightly higher performance. No, this is like a whole new system with even more higher performance. And yeah, oh my god, the average consumer is gonna be so confused by this. They're not gonna know the difference. Because let's be real here, consumers, the average like gaming consumer, they're stupid. They're not gonna understand that this is a whole new console that is going to have, like much higher performance, that there is like a huge power difference. A lot of people are just going to look at this and go, oh, they slimmed down the Xbox One. Cool. And yeah, so I don't see this going too well. And honestly, like I don't even know like what Microsoft's weird strategies are for this, because I've never been much of a Xbox guy ever. And like I think it was last E3 is when they announced like, oh yeah, we're doing like games on like on Windows 10 and games on the Xbox whatever. So every console exclusive that they had was also going to be on PC. And I'm like, oh, well, why the fuck would I even spend the money on your console now? Like I feel like that was like, I understand their idea of like, oh, well, now people can play cross-platforms and stuff. That's cool and all, but who the hell would buy your console now? Like, I outside of like a handful of Microsoft diehards who are like, I need to always support Microsoft because they are my boys, I really couldn't see, because that to me makes console buying so much easier, because I'm like a 1 to 2 consoles kind of guy. So I was like PS3 and Wii last gen because I'm like Sony had a lot of games that I wanted and the Wii had a handful of things I wanted and the Wii was super like dirt ass cheap. And then this gen, I have the PS4 because Sony is still making Sony's really kind of gotten the grasp of things. I feel after last gen, and they're still making the kind of games that I like, so that's where I kind of put my attention. And the Switch is just such a fascinating piece of hardware, and I know Nintendo can, as long as make great things for it. So I'm putting my faith in that. But with Xbox now, I'm just like I don't understand why the average consumer these days, unless you just don't have a PC, and you would just rather take $500 and buy an Xbox One instead of taking $500 and putting it towards your PC to beef it up to be able to run a lot of newer games and do all the crazy 4K gaming. So yeah, I don't really know, but yeah. At least they got that out there. That was a strong start to their conference. And then they started talking about games, and the fucking thing they open up with to show off their powerful new console is Forza. Are you... I get that there are Forza fans out there, but the average consumer doesn't give a shit about Forza. So, and they're not really going to be looking like, oh man, look how great... Because, as far as I'm concerned, car games really haven't improved all that much. I feel like since, the last Gran Turismo on, the PS3, and, the last couple of Forza games on the 360, I feel like simulated car driving games haven't really improved all that much visually. Yes, I can see, if you put them side by side, I'll be able to see the difference, but I feel like it's just... That's not a good, they all look the fucking same to me. They all look the fucking same. And I don't see, the average consumer being blown away by this, unless, you're just trying to show off the 4K elements, which in that case, show off a different game that really shows off, how it improves, textures and lighting and, frame rates and, the resolution and stuff. Maybe do, a side-by-side comparison, but no, they just kind of showed off Forza, and then they did, this is the one cringy thing they did, because Microsoft can't avoid just doing something cringy, and that is they fucking bring in a fucking Porsche. It's like we're gonna have this sweet car here, and it's just they fucking bring it on stage. I'm like, oh my god, you're doing it again, Microsoft. For once, just don't be douchebags. And speaking of douchebags, okay, I think his name is Phil Spencer, the guy who did most of the conference. That man. He particularly has, one of the most punchable faces. Because, Microsoft has, some of the douchiest people do their conferences. These guys with these shit-eating grins who just feel so goddamn fake and so faux dude bro-y. And, like I said, you just want to punch, Phil Spencer in the face. And, this year, I feel he was even more punchable. Because, because not only was he just, being his normal self, which is by default punchable, but then you had him, constantly dropping diversity, our diverse, our diverse, line of games, our diverse, developers and diverse. And, I feel like, I'm definitely one of those people that's, yeah, diversity matters. I mean, I don't really think it matters in my game development. Like a diverse lineup, and I feel like they kept throwing around the word diverse to, really hit that SJW market. Oh, they said the D word, the diversity. Oh man, I'm all about Microsoft now. Oh, diversity, I love diversity. Yeah, and down with the cis male white scum. Diversity, yeah. I just feel like they're really trying to hit that market because they're just kind of grasping at whatever the hell they could. Just at no point did they ever hit levels of cringe where they were just like, we got a Pokemon Go to the polls, but it's getting there. It was pretty fucking just cringy. Like I said, I started off with Forza. That's a bad start. Metro Exodus. That looked cool. I mean, I've never played a Metro game before. That one looked cool at very least. And that's an actual exclusive. But once again, it's also gonna be on PC. So I'm like, I'd rather just beef up my PC instead of buying an Xbox. So the new Assassin's Creed Origins. Holy crap! Am I interested in an Assassin's Creed game? Because this doesn't even look like it plays like Assassin's Creed. This looks like it. This looks like what I hoped Assassin's Creed would have turned into after playing the first one. And then I was just like, oh no, like they went like more into the direction, like they never improved like the gameplay mechanics and just kept bloating it with like side questy bullshit and all this generic open world bullshit that didn't appeal to me whatsoever. But I think the setting's really cool. The gameplay mechanics look really solid. It looks definitely more interesting than any fucking installment of an Assassin's Creed game. Like the only times I've ever thought an Assassin's Creed game looked remotely cool was like the first one, and then when they introduced pirates and they're like, look, pirate battles, and I was just like, that's really cool. I mean, I thought that's going to be a lot of the game because that's really not Assassin's Creed-y looking, and sure enough, apparently that wasn't much of that game anyhow. Plus I think that was the one that played like shit. Let's see, Battlegrounds, which is like some sort of zombie survival game. I think that was the zombie survival. It looked pretty generic though. Didn't really care about that. Speaking of zombie games, okay, this one I know for a fact was a zombie game. State of Decay 2 looked like utter ass. Like the animations looked fucking terrible. The frame rate looked like it was ass. Maybe like the stream had a bad frame rate. Maybe that's what it was. But yeah, the game just looked like utter fucking ass. Looked like it played like shit. And it's kind of weird too because like last year, Sony announced like a zombie game because like zombie games feel so fucking played out right now. And like last year, like Sony like announced another Sony game, zombie game, and I'm like, oh, like that one had like this like dynamic fluid graphics stuff where like the zombies came in actual fucking like waves and shit, and that looked so fucking intense, so fucking terrifying. And I'm like there, that's how you just do like, you know, like that's how you crank up the knob on the zombie game. This one just looked like generic garbage. There was some fucking knockoff of oh shit, that one Blizzard game that everybody loves that Overwatch. Was it the Darwin Project? Let's see. Oh, Minecraft with 4K graphics, because I mean, I guess that's kind of cool, whatever. And like their super duper graphics pack, I don't think anybody's going to give a shit about that. Let's see. And yeah, they really what else did they announce? Okay, so they announced this one indie game, The Last Night. It reminds me of that one old ass game, Another World, but it's like it's all noir, cyberpunk, like future dystopia, and it looks fucking badass and visually interesting. It looks so fucking cool. Code Vein looked anime as fuck. So that's all I really got from that game is, yeah, that's very anime, guys. Ori 2 looked fucking gorgeous. Cuphead is actually coming out. That's going to be really cool. Can't wait to play that on my PC. So yeah, a lot of things that they were showing off, like, just, whatever. Sea of Thieves looked boring as fuck. Like, I had Microsoft fanboys in the room with me, and even they were like, man, that pirate game looks like shit. So, like, whenever they're like, man, that pirate game looks like shit, I have to imagine that pirate game looks like shit. They showed off Crackdown. The best part of Crackdown was Terry Crews. Like, I really wish, like, if they had just made the main character's character model look like Terry Crews and have him voiced by Terry Crews and him just meme it up their entire game, just like, oh, power! I would have been so down for that. That would have been like the coolest shit ever. That might have actually made me want to play Crackdown, but whatever. It's. I've never played a Crackdown game yet. I don't really see myself playing a Crackdown game. The new Middle-earth game. I had some Lord of the Rings fans in the room, and they were pissed because it looked like the most fanficky horseshit bullshit. It's like, oh, he crafted his own ring, and it's like more powerful than like the One Ring, and it doesn't make him evil. It's all this other. It's like, wow, what a bunch of fanfic bullshit that was. Like, like it still looks like it plays pretty cool, you know. Whatever. Let's see, they added a lot of backwards compatibility stuff. That's cool. I'm always down for backwards compatibility. I mean, if you're an Xbox guy, that's awesome. Like I said, like Xbox's library has never really appealed to me all that much, and most of the games that have been released on it that I have wanted to play have eventually gotten released on other systems, so I've never felt any kind of incentive to go and play like any kind of Xbox games or even own an Xbox. And then you got Anthem, EA and BioWare's new game, and it's a BioWare game and it doesn't look like shit. I don't know how. I mean, it's only like the first trailer, so we'll see. It looks like it's kind of like, you know, a little bit of Destiny, a whole lot of Horizon Zero Dawn, which is kind of a cool mix. Let's see if that ends up being a thing, and I think that covers everything that was at that conference. I really can't. Oh, right, Dragon Ball FighterZ. Holy shit, man. Oh, fuck. So yeah, Dragon Ball FighterZ, that was announced, and, that got leaked, and I've been, like, trying to hold back on making a video about it because I'm waiting for, like, more information to come out. It is a 3v3 competitive fighter made by Arc System Works. That sounds like the coolest shit ever. It's using the graphics engine from, Guilty Gear, Xrd, which looks fucking gorgeous. Like, this game looks so fucking anime. It looks so fucking anime. It looks so goddamn cool. This is by far visually the best goddamn Dragon Ball game, best looking Dragon Ball game I have seen. Oh my god. Because, like, I've been waiting for a Dragon Ball game to do this. Because, like, the Naruto games, ever since they made the leap to the PS3, like, have looked very anime. Like, you can take screencasts from those Naruto games and be like, yeah, this is really damn close to looking like the anime. And I feel like the Dragon Ball games have never captured that. They've never tried to. They've always just done little things that really kind of disconnects it from looking like the anime. And here, I'm like, oh, they finally did it. Like, I've seen a handful of people who are fucking stupid and just being contrarian little bitches. They're like, oh my god, look, this game looks terrible. This looks like it should be on the Switch or something. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself straight to hell if that's what you honestly think. But honestly, I would say the backlash against this game is way bigger, because I see way more people making fun of and shitting on these people and attacking these people, because it feels like it's just like this tiny 1% sliver of people who are just being little contrarian shits because it isn't Xenoverse, and it doesn't look like Xenoverse, and it doesn't play like Xenoverse, or, you know, it doesn't have like the behind the character view, and it's a competitive fighter that's gonna take like some mastery. You know, they're all up in arms about that shit, but yeah, but like I said, it's like a 1% sliver of people, and it seems like everyone else is just like, dude, this looks fucking awesome. So honestly, I don't even give a shit, like, about those people. Like, the backlash against those people is, I think at this point, bigger than the actual, like, backlash against this game. So, yeah, this game looks hype as shit. I am so fucking excited. I like Arc System Works. You know, they've done Blaze Blue, which is one of, if not the greatest fucking fighting game ever. And getting to see, like, I'm hoping that this Dragon Ball game will push their name into the mainstream, because, you know, like the Guilty Gear games and the Blaze Blue games, it's more of a niche fighter, and they've never really broken into the mainstream, unfortunately. So I'm really hoping that this makes them a bigger name. So when, like, the next, like, Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue game comes out, they can be, like, you know, from the developers of Dragon Ball FighterZ, Arc System Works, Blaze Blue. Like, they can just go that route, and it'd be fucking rad. And then hopefully they'll get the cred that they deserve. Like, it's kind of a shame that they would have to make a Dragon Ball game to get that kind of, you know, mainstream cred, but it looks like this game is really picking up a lot of steam already. People are really excited about it. In an ideal world, I'd be like, man, I wish this could be on the Switch, but at the same time, I don't think the Switch could run this. Because there's a lot of visual effects and things going on. I don't know if you'll be able to keep up with the 60 frames per second. The character models are super detailed. So yeah, I don't see it being able to keep up. with a game like this. But yeah, it is. Oh my god, this game looks so fucking good. Like last time I was like super interested in like a Dragon Ball fighting game was when Xenoverse was announced. And that was like over 2 years ago now when it was announced. Like Xenoverse 1. And like, I mean, I rode like the Xenoverse 2 hype train for a bit, but like by that point, like I was more hyped at the prospects of what Xenoverse 2 could be, and then Xenoverse 2 just was like ended up being like a slightly more polished, kind of bloated version. Like this version of Xenoverse 1, this feels like it's going to be something completely different, something wholly original, and I am so down for that, people. Oh my god, like I am so looking forward. I'm going to do like its own separate video for this game later on. So if you want to hear me talk more about it, like me get more into the specifics of what I'm looking for, like I like the fact that it's gonna have destructible environments. I like that it's gonna have like the switch out mechanic, like Marvel vs. Capcom. There's so many things I think are just so fucking cool about this game, and yeah, till next time, which is tomorrow when I talk about the Sony conference. Zeon, out.